Look, I have to apologize to you guys on behalf of the whole health and wellness community, right? Because what people are led to believe most of the time is that health and wellness is easy. Now, when somebody has been on their health and wellness journey, those are super dirty. When somebody has been on their health and wellness journey for a long period of time, it gets to a point, or even just a couple months at a time, it gets to a point where it does become very easy because you're easily able to follow a routine. However, what isn't really told to us and what's not really explained when you first go on any sort of health and wellness journey is that, number one, the hardest part about the health and wellness journey is that you have to basically admit to yourself that all the decisions, or the majority of the decisions that you were making on a day-to-day basis, were wrong. And this is the part that everybody gets hung up on. And what do I mean by all of the decisions that you were making were wrong? If you're looking to be healthy, right, and you're looking to be healthy because it is supporting the dreams and goals that you have in your life, right, you have to now audit the things that you're doing. And most of the things that we're doing are not healthy, right? Most of the things that we're doing are not healthy. And the reason why most of the things that we're doing is not healthy is because of the statistics. Now, the statistics, and if you watched my videos before, you probably heard this and you're probably sick of hearing it, but you're gonna hear it again, right? The statistics are, and this was in 2019, so I didn't get any updated version, but I'm sure it's only worse now, right? The statistics are that 70% of adults in America are overweight. Of that 70%, 42 are obese, and just another statistic is 42% of people in America, or adults in America, have at least one chronic health issue. Now, this was back in 2019, and this was probably in the beginning half of the year, not even after the whole, lockdowns and all that whole situation started, right? So you can only imagine that it's gotten worse. But one of the things about that is that this means that everything, or not everything, almost everything that we do as a normal society leads to poor health. And that's a hard pill to swallow, right? That's a hard pill to swallow. And the reason why I say it's a hard pill to swallow is because if almost everything you're doing is wrong, it's a huge ego hit. A huge ego hit when you realize that when you want to get your healthiest version possible, you literally have to destroy that old person that you were in almost every facet of life and create a whole entirely new person. Now, this is a part that most people can't get over, and that's the reason why they don't become healthy. And that's what I realized with a lot of my clients that struggle. They don't realize that, or not, they don't realize, they have a difficult time giving up the old version of themselves, because we like the old version of ourselves. It's comfortable. Other people like the version of themselves, right? But when you look in the mirror, you don't feel comfortable. When you have to take all these pills and potions every single day just to function, that doesn't feel comfortable. Right? You have all these things going on in your body that are uncomfortable, but for some odd reason, you can't seem to give up those things so that you can turn them in for something that's better and better for you, right? But the ego death is really the hardest part, and that's what I realized as a first, I was a personal trainer, right? And I just help people, exercise and eat better, right? But what I realized is that I had to become somewhat of a psychologist, because in getting people to exercise, there's a lot of psychology involved, but getting people to change their lifestyle habits, there's far more. There's far more resistance to changing the whole lifestyle, right? When you're going to change your lifestyle, it's basically saying that all the things that you were doing previously does not serve you anymore. And this is one of the hardest things for people to accept, that they were wrong for not only one decision, two decisions, three decisions, but they're making constant bad decisions in their life every single day, right? That is one of the hardest things to get over, and that's one of the biggest reasons why people never get better. People never get better because they don't want to admit to themselves that they have been the one that's been causing them harm. It has to be somebody else's fault. You can't take full responsibility for your current situation of health, right? That's the first thing. Because when you take full responsibility, it means that if a doctor tells you to do something and it doesn't work, that's your fault. If you're taking medication and you didn't know that there are side effects to it that are causing you to have weight gain, energy loss, and all these other things, that's your fault. The things that you put inside of your face, that's your fault. This also means that you take full responsibility when things go right? And the good part about taking on that version of thinking is, number one, when things go right, that's also your fault, right? And when things go wrong, that's also your fault. But when you're able to take that full responsibility, you now don't have to rely on other people. It's not that you can do it all yourself, because you're obviously going to need some help if you don't know where you're going or what you're doing. That's obvious, right? But it's ultimately up to you to implement everything, right? Because you can go to a trainer and see a trainer and work out with them. People most of the time don't work out with the trainer every single day of the week, right? And even if they did, it'd most likely only be 5 hours a week, right? There's 168 hours in a week. In a week, there's 168 hours. You are the only person that is with your own body for 168 hours out of the week. Now, if you are the only one that's with yourself and with your body for that long, it means that there are so many other factors playing into it, right? It means that you are the only one with yourself when you go to make your food decisions, when you choose when you're going to go to bed, when you choose how you're going to hydrate your body, whether you choose to hit the snooze button or not. You're the one that's deciding to scroll on social media and possibly procrastinate on things that you should be doing, right? There are so many different things that you have to take responsibility for, right? And when you can finally say to yourself, hey, look, I'm going to finally take this responsibility on, that's the day that your health starts to change. That's the exact day that your health starts to change, because you're no longer gonna blame the trainer because their workouts aren't working for you, right? And don't get me wrong, you could be getting stupid exercises from your trainers and things like that. That could 100% happen. But let's be real, you're the one that hired them. Nobody's forcing you to get a trainer, right? If you have a nutritionist or somebody helping you out with your nutrition, if you're not seeing results, is it because you're not following the program, or is it because that program's not working for you? Both will ultimately be your fault, because if you follow the program and it doesn't work, then that's your fault. But what happens if you follow the program and it works? That's also your fault, and you get to take the credit for that, because the inside of you will feel good, and that will translate towards the outside. So you have to be able to take full responsibility for that, right? And if you're somebody that's ready to take full responsibility for their health and needs somebody to help them out with in this journey and basically guide them along, right? Because I'm a health coach, but I am not somebody that's gonna make you do anything. And that's what people think. Oh, I'm gonna get a trainer, they're gonna make me work out. It's like, if it's that much of pulling teeth and you have to do that, then chances are, as soon as you're left to your own devices, you won't do it. And anything that you only do 1 hour a week, 2 hours a week, 3 hours a week, is not going to get the massive return that you want. Again, remember, you're with yourself, and there is 168 hours out of the week. If you think that just doing 3 hours or 4 hours or 5, even 10 hours of some exercising, and you think that that's all automatically going to mitigate any bullshit that you might try to do in the other 158 hours out of the week, you're sadly mistaken. So if you get in your mind that you are the one that's responsible for all of this stuff, you'll start making better decisions. And again, as I said before, it's very difficult to take that on, because most times we're used to assigning blame to other people, and it's easier because when it doesn't work, we can blame somebody else. We never want to take responsibility for things that don't work for ourselves. And that's the key. That's a major key. When you're able to take responsibility for the things that are working and for the things that are not working, that's when your health starts to change, and that's when the magic happens. That's when the magic happens. All of my clients that get the best results, they decide that they are the ones that's going to make it happen. And it's not a short journey. You literally have your health and your wellness with you your whole entire life. If you think that you just doing a 30, 60, 90 day sprint towards health is going to lead to long-term health gains, it's not. It could lead to short-term health gains. You might get a six-pack here, you might be able to boost your energy here, might be able to feel a little bit better, but let's not be naive here and think that you can do anything for just a short amount of time and then it lasts the rest of your life. Like it's very rare that you'll be able to do that, right? So the moral of this video is that you have to take full responsibility for your health. And again, if you need help with that, right, you need some coaching, some guidance, somebody to hold you accountable, somebody to point you in the right direction, somebody to add to your team, because this person that you would add to the team, whether it's me or somebody else, right, is not going to be able to get your health to where you need to be. Ultimately, if you get a trainer, you need to do the exercises. Ultimately, if you get a coach, a lifestyle coach, right, somebody that's coaching you on the rest of your lifestyle, you need to implement those changes. They talk with you and troubleshoot the things that you have going on, but if you can't implement those things because you think that you know better and clearly your results aren't working, if you're not where you want to be, then you have to do an ego check. You have to do an ego check, and this is one of the hardest things to do. And I say it like, oh, just do an ego check. There'll be another video on that, hopefully soon. But really, you're gonna have to check yourself and really try to figure out, like, why is it that I can't give up the things that are harming me and destroying my body, my brain, my productivity levels, and keeping me from getting to the next level. And somehow I can't just give those things up. That's the reason why you need to do that ego check, because a lot of people want to continue doing the things that don't get them results just because they don't want to admit to themselves that they've been basically sabotaging themselves the whole time. So that's all I got for you guys today, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.